Hello and welcome to Blended Agendas. Today's topic is the Kavanaugh hearings, the duality of the United States Morale Society. Once again, the United States of America has shown the world that there are different sets of rules when it comes to the powerful and the elite. Brett Kavanaugh was sworn in as Supreme Court Justice after allegations of sexually assaulting Dr. Kristen Blasey Ford on July 1st, 1982. Dr. Ford could not recall how she arrived at the small gathering whose house the attack took place, just that it was at a house in Bethesda, Maryland near a country club, and she could not remember how she got home. She described her childhood friend Leland Kaiser being there, Patrick P.J. Smith, another boy in which she could not recall his name, Mark Judge, who she says witnessed and participated in the attack, and Brett Kavanaugh, the accused. All of those she mentioned as witnesses stated that they did not recall the event, but never said it didn't happen. Brett Kavanaugh denied these accusations. He reduced the calendar shown on July 1st, 1982. He went to Tim's house for skis with Judge, PJ, and Squee. Since it was July, the skis he went there for was short for brewski, beer. Two of the friends he mentioned were there at Tim's party were also the people Dr. Ford said were at the house where the attack took place. Tim Cardette's home was 11 miles from the Columbia Country Club. Let's put things in perspective. The prefrontal cortex of the brain relates to our ability to differentiate what is good or bad, the ability to suppress urges that could lead to socially unacceptable outcomes. Basically, controlling one's impulses. The prefrontal lobe is the last piece of the brain to fully develop before it matures when a person reaches their early 20s. This is the reason why most teenagers are involved in risky behaviors. Kavanaugh and Ford were involved in underage drinking. Kavanaugh expressed that he loves to drink beer. The other witnesses were probably intoxicated too. We have a group of teenagers within the ages of 15 through 17 who were drinking without adult supervision. Is it so unbelievable that a high school jock who admitted to drinking could not have possibly been involved in any type of risky behaviors? Most high school jocks tend to have the same characteristics: good looking, aggressive behavior, arrogant, and abuse alcohol or drugs. Could having more than one beer possibly clouded Dr. Ford's memory as to how she arrived home after the assault? Or was she in a state of shock? How many of us in our teens were involved in underage drinking to the point of not remembering what happened the night before? I believe Kavanaugh was lying about the events that happened that day in 1982. A stand-up guy would have admitted that he was inebriated and did not recall what happened while he was intoxicated, apologize for what happened with hopes of forgiveness from Dr. Ford, and state that he is no longer that person he used to be. After all, he was a teenager at the time. If there were other allegations against him, remember his father was a lawyer, his mother a judge. You think they will allow their son to have a blemish on his record? I believe this hearing was more about power than truth. This hybrid regime consists of conflict, ethnic competition, and the binary categories of the rich and poor. A crime of sexual assault could not have been possible from a virtuous, hardworking, upstanding, rich, high-achieving, yell-attending male such as Kavanaugh. President Trump stated at a rally in Mississippi where they applauded and laughed at him ridiculing Dr. Ford, saying that we're living in scary times where one is guilty until proven innocent, and it is very dangerous for our country. He said it is a sad situation when you could be guilty of something you might not be guilty of. Sadly, this is the social experiences of the poor, being guilty until proven innocent. By the way, Senator Lindsey Graham said what Trump stated in Mississippi was a means to conquer and divide. He mentioned Trump exciting the crowd as a metaphor of dangling a $100 bill in a trailer park. The elite does not associate excellence or virtue with the poor. Why is there an assumption that everyone benefits from the same support? The Republicans and Democrats were both at fault in this matter because they put power before substance. The FBI investigation was a joke. The Democrats should have advised Dr. Ford to report the assault to the Maryland police because there is no statute of limitations in Maryland. It could have led to a criminal investigation. The Republicans weren't worried about an investigation by the FBI because, after all, the White House is their client. Make your vote count in November. Thank you for listening to Blended Agendas. Please comment and subscribe.